What's good, people? It's about that time to randomly relate reverse ranch, no hate. So, look, real quick. So, I saw the weigh in for Devin Haney, Regis Prograis. They both made weight, and they both look like they're ready. And that's what we getting ready to find out tomorrow night. And let me just say this, because a lot of people, they've been saying this to me, and I've seen it, and it's true. Like, they was talking about the hate. Like, why are they so ignorant? Why is, like, Devin Haney getting so much hate? Look, you guys know me, I don't speak from a fan's perspective. I just speak from a logical, a reality-based standpoint. I don't look at things based on if I like a fighter, if I don't like a fighter. I'm not a fan of anybody. I like Devin as a fighter. I respect what Regis has done as a fighter. But let me tell you, it's ignorance, for one. It's ignorance. The hate that Devin Haney get is because he defied the odds. That's all that is. When you label the person, this nigga's pillow-fisted. He can't hurt nobody. He can't knock nobody out. He won't beat this person. He won't do this. He won't do that. But then he did it. And he became undisputed, while everybody else started making excuses saying belts don't mean nothing, just because you the champ don't mean nothing, even though he's the champ at 135. Tank is the biggest star. Remember all of that talk? And, Tank, he did what he did against Ryan, and then he had his, legal situation, and he's yet to get back in the ring. So, Tank has respect, but, now Tank has been out the ring for a little bit, and he needs to get back in. Well, while all that's going on, okay, Devin Haney, he went over there, he beat the man that beat the man, okay? Nonsense, all this. Yeah, he wound up, Teofimo, he beat Lomachenko, and then Lomachenko, disappeared for a little bit. The war was going on and all that stuff that was happening. And then, the Kambosos and Teofimo fight kept getting rescheduled. It finally happened. Teofimo loses. And remember, they kept labeling Teofimo the man that beat the man that nobody wanted to fight. Well, Kambosos beat the man that beat the man. Then all of a sudden they said it was a fluke. They started trying to make excuses. But as soon as they was talking about Devin Haney versus Kambosos, all of a sudden now Kambosos is going to do this, he's going to do that. Kambosos beat Teofimo. Oh wait, so now you acknowledge it as a real win. It wasn't a fluke. It wasn't luck anymore, because you want him to beat Devin Haney. Well, Devin Haney not only beat him once, but he beat him twice, and on his soil, on his terms. Then he beat Lomachenko. Okay? So now, look at what's going on. So what ends up happening is this. Devin Haney, he beats Kambosos. He beats Lomachenko. And, for these fighters trying to make an excuse about how, even though Devin Haney is the champion, well, Ryan Garcia versus Tank was a bigger fight. Okay, nothing lasts forever. Ryan just fought. People wasn't really satisfied with his, or really impressed by his performance. Tank has to get back in there and get back in the mix. In the meantime, who's been consistent? Devin Haney. He's out here making it happen. So it's just ignorance. People just don't like people because they label them, they see them a certain way, they run their mouth. I bet you, I guarantee you, I promise you, he won't do this, he won't, but then he doesn't. So tomorrow night, should he, beat Regis Prograis? And I'm going to say this, because I'm not afraid to be wrong. Like I told you, you never know what's going to happen in the ring. Regis Prograis, the only thing that he has going for him, in all honesty, against Devin is power. That's it. Against anybody that he fights at 140. That's all he really has going for him. He's not a good boxer, man. Regis Prograis is not a skillful boxer. I'm telling you this flat out. He's not. And I doubt very seriously, all in one night, he's just going to become a different fighter. So, him thinking that he's going to just run through Devin Haney's punches and, he's just going to catch Devin and get him out of there, let's just see what happens. Let's just see what happens. But in all honesty, I think Devin Haney should beat the shit out of Regis Prograis. I'm just being honest with y'all. I think Regis Prograis' style, look, he got fucked up by Josh Taylor. Let's say it like it is, y'all. He has not improved since then. He's not like a better fighter. He's the same fighter. It's just that Josh Taylor did what he did and made it look easy. So every time that Regis or his coach says, all Devin do is run and all these excuses, every time you hear people say that, it's because they don't know how to cut off a ring, and they know that, and Regis said it, you coming to box, I'm coming to hurt you, I'm coming to knock you out. Yeah, because Devin Haney is a boxer. That's what he does. Devin's not afraid to get in the mix and fight at close quarters if he needs to, and he doesn't need to try to do that shit to prove anything to Regis. He needs to fight his fight, be smart, break him down, and if he winds up getting a stoppage or whether he winds up beating him in a 12-round fight, either way, getting the win, that's the point. When you are all around a skillful guy, you know how to cut the ring off, you can fight on the back foot, you can fight coming forward, mid-range, long range, whatever. You don't care about what your opponent's trying to do. You know, you look at a chessboard. It's the same amount of squares, same amount of pieces. But every time you play, you're going to make some of the same moves, different moves. You're not going to remember every single second of, damn, what did I do last time? No, it's a new game every time. And that's what's going to happen in this ring. So, aside from a puncher's chance, I think Devin Haney should beat the shit out of Regis. I'm just being honest with y'all. Josh Taylor, you know, he's a good fighter, man, but, like, there's levels. And that's my point, what I'm saying. It would be one thing to see improvement in Regis since the Josh Taylor fight. Regis is the same fucking fighter, man. I think just Regis fans, people that like him, you know, they'll say that he's a better fighter. And I say, based on what? Show me the fights he had where he showed that his skills have improved. He hasn't. That's the whole thing. Devin has improved. You've seen him, and he's only 24 years old. Nobody makes the excuse for Devin that he's only 24. They always just say, oh, he's going to lose, he won't beat this guy, he won't beat. That's where that's coming from. It's just ignorance, and it's like, yeah, they said he wouldn't do this, he wouldn't do that. And out of all the guys in the division that they thought would be the ones to carry the division and be that person, it ends up being Devin. So popularity, I don't give a fuck about that. I like Tank as a fighter, but guess what? I also like Devin as a fighter, and I respect what Devin's been doing. And I'm not going to call, I don't care about Tank being a more popular fighter or the bigger name. I don't care about that. In terms of what happens in the ring, that's my focus. That's what I'm interested in. I don't care about all that other shit. You know, so what I pay attention to is how things get to a certain point, what's going on in, to get there, which is something that people forget. They just start talking and running their mouth. But that's where the hate is coming from. So, you know, Regis has to go in there and fight his fight, and Devin has to go in there and fight his fight. Regis talking all that shit about he's going to come out there and he's going to outbox, that's bullshit. That would be stupid if here you come now, the biggest fight of your career, and you're going to decide that you're going to go in there and try to outbox a guy that you're not nearly as good as a boxer. You need to go in there, and the thing about Regis, I'm telling y'all this, Regis is not a sharp thinker in the ring. Regis has to get close to you. Regis depends on you to stand still, stand there and be an easy target. Regis doesn't know how to cut off a ring. He doesn't know how to get to you. He doesn't know how to create openings, and he's shown that. Now for him, he's feeling like Devin can't hurt him. So he's picturing himself walking through him, and he's going to go in there and he's going to do this and that. We'll see. We'll see. But I think I told you guys before, same with Dubois versus, Usyk, was he kept talking about he can't hurt him and he's going to do what AJ didn't do. And I'm saying, hey, man, you keep underestimating guys' ability to hurt you. Next thing you know, these guys hurt you. The one thing you got to say about Devin Haney, like I said, no, he's not a big puncher. That's no secret. But they obviously respect the power that he has because nobody's ever walked through Devin. Devin doesn't have to walk through you. That's not his thing. He's a boxer. He doesn't come I'm just gonna come for the knockout. No, he goes and depend on all his skills put together. And like I said, he's only 24 years old, but nobody's making an excuse for him. Nobody's looking at his accomplishments at 24. You take other guys who might be doing something right now, but at 24 they wasn't as accomplished as what he is. You see what I'm saying? So, and Devin, even something Reed just said about, Devin, when Devin became champion, what he said, I started boxing at 17 when Devin, okay. So Devin's experience, even still being only 24, right? Let's not forget, he doesn't have nearly as many fights as Canelo did when Canelo was 24 years old. He doesn't have that many fights. Canelo was already at what? At 23 years old, he already had like 40 fights, more 40 or 42, between 41, 42 fights, something like that. But by the time he got to Floyd, but what I'm saying is, then people will go, yeah, but you gotta understand, Regis ain't Floyd. Yeah, we know he ain't Floyd. They made that same comparison. I made a comparison before, and it's like, because that's how it is with Floyd. We don't want to give Floyd credit. We hate Floyd. We want to try to tear him down, but then you put people in a position where they got to put their foot in their mouth because they try to tear Floyd down, but then they got to give him his props. It's just stupid shit. I don't care about that on a personal level, about none of it. I don't care what people feel about any goddamn fighter, but that's where that shit comes from. So, we'll see what's going to happen. Now, should Devin Haney get the win? I think he should, and I think he should really just fuck Regis up bad. Like, I think he should brutalize Regis. I'm telling you guys. Look, Devin has everything that he needs to beat Regis Prograis. I don't know what it is with this era of time, this generation, where people making it seem like if a guy got some punching power, then that just means he automatically wins a fight. Like, you motherfuckers haven't been watching boxing. You basing it on this bullshit half-ass boxing motherfuckers that y'all watch now, thinking like this is some new shit or something. No, I'm saying this. I respect what Regis has done, but when I watch Regis fight, Regis has too many holes in his game. And if Devin Haney is on point, this is what I'm saying. He should destroy Regis Prograis, man. He should, from round 1 to however long the fight lasts, if it goes 12, he should dominate him. Regis can't box, man. I'm telling you guys. Regis talks a good game. He talks a good game, and he always speaks really confident. But for everything he tries to find to throw at Devin, you notice he never brings up the fact that Josh Taylor whooped his ass and dominated him. And then he got dominated by Teofimo. He never brings that up. He never says that shit. So at the end of the fight, after you saying all this stuff about, he ain't come up like me, he ain't from the hood and all that, what does any of that mean? So now if you go from that to trying to say, well, Devin Haney's a great fighter, man, I'll take my hat to him and this and this, and of course he's going to talk about running it back if he should lose. Now, if Devin should lose, what's next? Right? What's next? I would think Regis Prograis should be looking at a Teofimo fight. Somebody else. Teofimo claimed he retired and all this. Whatever. And again, we're not going to think that far ahead because there's just too much circus stuff going on. And I'm bringing these things up because, like I said, just because I like a fighter as a person as a fighter doesn't mean I'm gonna say that act like I don't see the flaws in them and how ungenuine the things that they say. Like I said, I respect Regis as a fighter, man, but Regis is really not a good boxer at all. He's a fighter. That's what he is, and that's what he needs to stick to. And nobody's fooled by that shit. You hear what Devin's telling him, man. You ain't going to do shit different. You're going to do what you always do. Same thing. Come in. Depend on your power like you always do. You one-dimensional. Do you know the mistake he be making? Shorter arms, shorter in height, not as quick. Regis is not fast. He's slow. These are things that people are not understanding. And he's flat-foot. And he doesn't know how to cut off a ring. And this is where I'm saying, when I'm looking at the two of them, it's like, okay, if you take Devin out the picture and you look at just the 140 division and look at who he's fought or who he hasn't fought, and I'm talking about Regis, well, we don't know what will happen if he fight these other guys that he hasn't got to yet. Really don't. But in terms of a guy like Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia, Tank Davis, Teofimo, and if Shakur was to come to 140, he done got his taste of having a terrible performance and running his mouth just to have people shoot it right back at him now. So he knows what that feels like now. But those guys are like leaps and bounds better than the 140 guys. And that's a conversation I had before. And I'm telling you guys, if you listen to what Regis is saying and listen to his coach and all this extra shit, they're trying to not just put on for the cameras, but they're trying to punk Devin, trying to scare him. That shit is not working. That's all that extra we need to do this. Because why? They don't show, like, they don't when a person is confident that they're going to go in there and do their best to fight, that's one thing. But when a person needs to rely on the scare tactics, the tough talk, I'm from the hood and all that shit, that's when it's like they're not as confident as their words. And that shit means nothing. So because someone has an education, someone's intelligent, that mean that they can't fight? That's a stupid logic. That's really stupid. So, we're going to see what's going to go down tomorrow, and may the best man win. I mean, I just feel like, when I see things and people are reacting a certain way, it's because these people are reacting as fans. Then they don't really look at the logic of things. They really just sit back and, because he said this and that. Yo, they promoting the hell out of this fight. Yo, this is great promo. Yo, this is... Okay, cool. You like it, you like it. But I don't care about all that shit. But I look through all of the words, all of the talking, and I look at the actions and look at... You go about a fight-by-fight basis, man. Regis cannot ask Devin that question of who you fought. Because his resume is better than Regis. And the best fighter that Regis has fought on his resume up until tomorrow is Josh Taylor, and he got his ass whooped. So we going to just act like that fight never happened. Or it was just a bad night or something all of a sudden. And that's the point what I made, like I said earlier. If Regis Prograis came out of that fight a better fighter, and you could see a vast improvement, then okay, yeah, we could talk about something then. But Regis is the same fighter. So if he's to win this fight, he's going to have to knock Devin out. Unless Devin gets injured in that fight or something and he can't really perform, like he break his hand or dislocate his arm or like do something like, tear a bicep or something, but, hurt his leg or something. Other than that, just both guys going there, and I think this shit should be easy work for Devin. I'm being straight up. And even though Regis can punch, okay, he's not a Mike Tyson type guy. He's not an Andre Berto type guy. He doesn't come in with the pressure. He tries to come in from the outside. He tries to work his way in without using footwork and a jab. He just tries to get in, wait, move, stand there, and then he throws power shots. And I just feel like Devin should beat the shit out of Regis. I really do. So if Devin's on like he's supposed to be, he'll dominate this fight. That's my thoughts on it. And I'm going to be right back here, either Sunday morning or Saturday night. Probably, probably Sunday morning, more than likely. But either way, so we can talk about this. Because in all honesty, this is a fight I'm looking forward to. But I'm not looking at this like this is a super fight. Now, what happens once they get in there, it can turn into one. But I think that, in all honesty, if this fight goes, if both guys are in top form, Haney should fucking win this fight by a landslide, man. If he don't get the stoppage, he should fuck him up bad. And we're not going to sit here, and I'm not going to pretend like that last fight Regis had. See, a lot of people go for the excuses. Oh, there's a lot of pressure on me, man. I'm my hometown, man. No, man. Stop that shit. You got fighters begging to get a fight in their hometown. You finally get it, and now it's pressure. Like, come on, bro. That same pressure can come back then, and the fact that you're defending your title against a guy that you talked a lot of shit about, talk about he's a prep school boy, he ain't no real hood dude and all that shit. Okay, yeah. What does it have to do with what's going to happen in the ring? So even though he's not from the hood, he's not a street dude and all that, he's still far more accomplished in that ring than Regis and all these other fighters are. And that's what it comes down to. So we're going to see how it goes. But listen, always remember, my father taught me that the loudest person in the room is usually the softest. And that is so true on so many levels. But a lot of times people don't see it like that. Now, I don't think Regis is soft, but Regis isn't a skillful fighter. He's not a skillful boxer. He fights with heart and grit. But he's just not a good boxer, man. So if everybody thinks that all of a sudden, one training camp, this guy gonna come out and outbox one of the best boxers, pound for pound, in boxing right now, and this dude is not a good boxer at all. Nah, I don't see that happening. I don't see it happening. But you know, hey, it's boxing. We gonna find out. Talk to me in the comment section. Never fall in love with lies. Remember, the truth brings hate out of people, and I will catch y'all on the next video.